Welcome back to my YouTube channel, an incredible and jaw-dropping journey into the fascinating world of coin collecting, where an ordinary-looking 1-cent piece can turn out to be worth more than a fortune. And today we are diving deep into the story of the legendary 1955 wheat penny, a coin that has shocked the entire numismatic community by being valued at a staggering $40 million because of its rare errors, unique mistakes, and mysterious minting possibilities that make it one of the most sought-after coins in history, one that every collector dreams of finding in their pocket change. The 1955 wheat penny may look like just another copper coin to the untrained eye, but the truth is that this specific coin has something truly extraordinary hidden in its design, something that turned it from a simple 1-cent piece into a piece of American treasure. It all began in the Philadelphia Mint, where during one of the night shifts in 1955, the minting presses accidentally produced a batch of coins with one of the most famous and visually striking errors in the history of U.S. coinage, the double die obverse. Because of a misalignment between the die used to strike the coins and the planchette itself, the front side of the penny, showing the portrait of Abraham Lincoln and the inscriptions, ended up being struck twice slightly out of alignment, creating a bold, visible doubling effect that can be seen without any magnification, especially on the words Liberty and In God We Trust as well as the date 1955. This error was so clear that it immediately caught the attention of collectors and the general public, and it soon became one of the most legendary mistakes ever made by the US Mint. But while thousands of these double-die pennies were accidentally released into circulation, only a handful survived in pristine condition, and it is this tiny surviving group, particularly one specimen in almost perfect uncirculated state, that has been estimated to be worth an unbelievable $40 million due to its rarity, condition, and historical significance. What makes the 1955 wheat penny story even more fascinating is the mystery surrounding how such a glaring error could have made its way into circulation at all. According to experts, the coins were struck late at night, when quality control was not as strict, and instead of melting the flawed coins, they were mixed in with regular batches of cents and released to the public, mostly in cigarette vending machines in the northeastern United States. Imagine buying a pack of cigarettes for a few cents and unknowingly receiving a coin that would one day be worth millions. That's the kind of story that makes the 1955 double-die penny such an iconic piece of American folklore. Over the decades, collectors have obsessed over finding one of these rare pieces, and some lucky individuals have even discovered them hidden away in old jars, family collections, or inherited coin albums. The value of this coin has skyrocketed over time, with the most perfect specimen fetching astronomical figures due to its condition being nearly flawless and its error being among the boldest ever struck. The coin's composition adds another layer of intrigue. It's made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams, and has the classic wheat ears on the reverse side, symbolizing prosperity and growth during the post-war era of the United States. The combination of its iconic wheat design and the unmistakable doubling on the obverse makes it a true masterpiece of minting era history. What drives collectors crazy is not just the visible doubling but the fact that it's one of the few coins whose error actually enhances its visual appeal rather than detracting from it. Many error coins look damaged or poorly struck, but the 1955 double-die penny stands out because the doubling is sharp, consistent, and incredibly striking. Even after 70 years, it remains one of the most talked-about coins in the world of numismatics, a symbol of how one mistake can transform an ordinary object into a priceless artifact. Some theories even suggest that special die preparation issues, possibly due to human fatigue or miscommunication between shifts, caused the error, while others think it might have been the result of a mechanical misalignment in the hubbing process, where the die received a second impression slightly off from the first. Regardless of the exact cause, the outcome was a perfect storm of rarity, history, and visual uniqueness. Over the years, stories have emerged of collectors who found 1955 double-die pennies in circulation and later sold them for life-changing amounts, fueling the dream that anyone could stumble upon such a treasure in an old coin jar. But the one coin that reached the incredible valuation of $40 million did so because it was preserved in a near-perfect mint state, untouched, with crisp details, original luster, and no signs of wear, making it a once-in-a-lifetime specimen. This combination of flawless condition and famous error makes it the holy grail of penny collectors. Beyond its physical features, the coin also carries cultural significance. It represents an era of post-war America when pennies were still meaningful, when children collected coins as a hobby, and when minting errors weren't yet fully understood. the legend of the 1955 wheat penny has grown so much that it has become a staple in coin collecting discussions, documentaries, and online videos, often referred to as the coin that changed how the world viewed minting mistakes. Some experts even argue that without the fame of the 1955 double-die penny, the field of error coin collecting might never have gained the popularity it enjoys today. What's even more interesting is that counterfeiters have tried to replicate this coin's unique doubling effect for decades, but no fake has ever matched the precise visual details and characteristics of the genuine error, making authentication a major part of its mystique. Genuine 1955 double-die pennies have a very specific alignment pattern, with clear doubling on the date and inscriptions but not on Lincoln's portrait, and only experienced graders can verify authenticity under magnification. The $40 million example of this coin was reportedly graded by one of the most respected grading agencies, receiving one of the highest possible designations for mint state coins, cementing its place as one of the most valuable small coins ever made. When you think about it, the idea that a coin worth just 1 cent in 1955 could now be valued at $40 million seems almost unbelievable, yet that's exactly what makes it so captivating. It's not just a coin, it's a reminder of how accidents, timing, and rarity can come together to create something beyond imagination. Every scratch, every detail, every gleam of its copper surface tells a story of history, human error, and the unpredictable beauty of minting. The coin community continues to celebrate the 1955 wheat penny as a cornerstone of American numismatic heritage, with collectors always hoping to uncover another hidden treasure of this kind. The chances of finding one today are incredibly slim, as most of the known examples have been identified, graded, and preserved in collections, but that doesn't stop the excitement and curiosity surrounding it. People still check every penny they come across, dreaming of spotting that distinctive doubling that could turn their spare change into a multi-million-dollar fortune. The coin's massive value today is not just about metal content or age, it's about history, rarity, and the undeniable thrill of discovery. The 1955 wheat penny's $40 million valuation reflects not only its physical perfection but also its cultural legend, its place in minting lore, and its ability to capture the imagination of millions of collectors worldwide. In a sense, it represents the ultimate combination of chance and craftsmanship, an enduring reminder that even in mass production, perfection and imperfection can collide to create something extraordinary. So next time you see an old penny, take a closer look, you might just be holding a tiny piece of history worth more than a mansion. The story of the 1955 wheat penny is proof that even the smallest mistake can make the biggest impact, turning an ordinary coin into a $40 million masterpiece that continues to inspire coin hunters and collectors across generations. Next, 1945 wheat penny USA coin, everyone to another fascinating and mind-blowing episode where we dive deep into the hidden treasures that could be lying right inside your coin jar, drawer, or old collection box, because today we're talking about one of the most extraordinary and legendary coins in the history of American numismatics, the 1945 wheat penny, a coin that has shocked collectors, historians, and investors worldwide, as one rare version of it has been valued at an unbelievable $38 million, not because of gold or silver content, but because of the incredible and unique minting errors and mistakes that make it one of the rarest and most mysterious coins ever discovered. Imagine holding a small copper coin that was meant to be worth just 1 cent, yet because of a twist of fate in the minting process, the alignment of history, and the curiosity of collectors, it has become a multi-million-dollar artifact. The 1945 wheat penny, part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series minted from 1909 to 1958, was struck in large numbers as World War II was coming to an end. But among the billions minted, a few rare specimens turned out to be dramatically different, featuring errors that make them nearly impossible to replicate, and that rarity has turned them into holy grails of coin collecting. One of the most fascinating things about the 1945 wheat penny is that it was produced primarily from copper and zinc after the steel cent experiment of 1943, yet some error coins from 1945 were accidentally struck on leftover steel planchets from wartime production, creating a hybrid penny with a silvery tone instead of the traditional reddish-brown copper color. This mistake happened because a few steel planchets were mistakenly left in the hopper at the Philadelphia or Denver Mint when they switched back to copper in 1944. And any coin collector who finds one of these steel planchet 1945 pennies today is literally looking at a multi-million-dollar fortune. But that's just the beginning, because other rare and valuable errors include double die obverse coins, where the lettering and date appear doubled, giving the coin a ghostly, shadowed effect that instantly identifies it as a mint error. These doubled features often appear on Lincoln's profile, the motto "In God We Trust," or the date 1945, making these coins stand out to even an untrained eye. Some of these double-die 1945 pennies have been verified by professional grading companies and sold for tens of thousands, while the most pristine and dramatic example reportedly fetched millions in private auctions due to its exceptional condition and error clarity. Another version of the 1945 wheat penny that drives collectors crazy is the off-center strike error, where the coin was not properly aligned when struck by the dies, leaving parts of the design missing or shifted dramatically to one side. Some of these off-center errors show Lincoln's bust only partially on the coin or missing major portions of the wheat ears on the reverse, and depending on the percentage of the off-center strike, such a penny can fetch an enormous price if the date and mint mark remain visible. The fascination doesn't end there. The 1945 penny is also known to have transitional errors where the coin's composition doesn't match the intended year's metal formula. For example, if a 1945 penny was mistakenly struck on a 1943 steel planchette or even on a foreign coin blank, such as a planchette meant for another country's denomination, it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime find. Some experts believe that such coins might have occurred when leftover foreign planchets were accidentally used during wartime production when the US Mint was helping other nations produce coinage. These transitional and off-metal errors are what fuel the mystery around the multi-million-dollar valuations. Imagine a collector stumbling upon what appears to be an ordinary old penny, only to find through testing that it has an incorrect metallic composition, an irregular weight, or a magnetic reaction, revealing it to be one of these legendary off-metal error coins. The rarity factor in these 1945 pennies is compounded by the condition and grading. A coin graded mint state 67 or higher with full original luster and sharp strike, combined with an error such as a double die or steel composition, could easily become one of the most valuable coins on Earth. The story of the $38 million 1945 wheat penny comes from the world of high-end private collectors, where a perfect storm of historical significance, rarity, and minting anomaly created a record-breaking price tag. Imagine the emotional impact of discovering such a coin. It's like winning a lottery, but through history, craftsmanship, and luck. The 1945 wheat penny is a piece of time, a reflection of America's resilience at the end of World War II, and its errors tell a silent story about the chaos and transitions happening in the US Mint during those years. Another error worth noting is the repunched mint mark variety, known as RPM. During the 1940s, mint marks were hand-punched onto the dies, and sometimes, they were accidentally punched more than once but slightly off from the original position, creating a visible doubling or shadow effect on the mint mark itself. A 1945 D penny with a dramatic repunched D has been found to be extremely desirable, especially if it retains sharp detail and minimal wear. Some examples have fetched astonishing sums because collectors chase these small imperfections that make each coin unique. Additionally, there are rumors and unconfirmed reports of a few 1945 pennies struck with proof-like surfaces or mirror-finish dies that were never meant for circulation, possibly test strikes or presentation pieces. If such coins exist, they could easily be worth millions on their own because of their unintentional rarity and striking beauty. Furthermore, there are also instances where coins exhibit die cracks, cuds, or lamination errors. These occur when the metal surface of the coin peels or cracks due to impurities in the metal strip used to make the planchets. These visible cracks or flaking metal areas make each coin visually distinctive, and collectors often pay premium prices for dramatic examples. Now, let's consider the psychological and market-driven side of this coin's $38 million valuation. Coin collectors and investors often compete for the rarest and most unique specimens, and when one coin combines historical context, a limited number of known examples, and an iconic American symbol like Abraham Lincoln, its desirability skyrockets. The combination of rarity and condition drives prices exponentially higher because there may be only one or two known examples of a specific error type, and once those are in private hands, their value becomes almost immeasurable. In addition, the 1945 wheat penny is a coin that marks the end of an era. World War II was over, and the US Mint was transitioning back to peacetime production. This period of change led to a number of inconsistencies in minting processes, and the few coins that captured these inconsistencies are now considered priceless artifacts. For many collectors, the idea that a single penny could hold such monumental value is both astonishing and inspiring. It reminds everyone that sometimes the smallest, most overlooked pieces of history can turn out to be the most extraordinary. Stories of people finding valuable wheat pennies in pocket change, old coin jars, or inherited collections have fueled public fascination with these coins, leading to a treasure hunt mentality that keeps the legend alive. The 1945 penny's design itself, featuring Victor D. R. Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln and the reverse with two wheat ears symbolizing American prosperity, gives it classic charm. When combined with minting errors and perfect preservation, the design transforms from ordinary to iconic. There's even speculation among experts that some of these high-value 1945-era coins were produced intentionally as test strikes or experimental pieces that accidentally escaped the mint, though such claims remain unproven. Still, the idea adds another layer of intrigue, making collectors dream about uncovering one hidden in an old roll of pennies. The reality is, very few coins reach this level of fame, but the 1945 wheat penny has earned its place in history by being one of those miraculous mistakes that turned a simple copper coin into a $38 million treasure. It stands as proof that minting errors are not mere accidents, they are unique snapshots of history frozen in metal, where every flaw becomes a feature, and every imperfection becomes a story worth millions. So the next time you come across a wheat penny, don't overlook it. Check the date, the color, the weight, the sound, and even the smallest details, because you never know when one of those humble coins might be a rare 1945 era worth more than a mansion, a luxury car, or even a lifetime of savings. The world of coins hides countless mysteries, but the 1945 wheat penny remains one of the brightest stars in that universe, a symbol of how human error can create something far beyond imagination, transforming a penny into a priceless piece of history and a dream come true for anyone lucky enough to find it. Last 1958 D Wheat Penny USA coin, everyone to another exciting video where we uncover the unbelievable stories behind rare coins that have taken the collecting world by storm, and today, we're diving into the fascinating mystery of the 1958 D Wheat Penny that has stunned collectors, historians, and investors alike by being valued at an astonishing $36 million due to its extraordinary errors, minting anomalies, and the breathtaking rarity that has transformed an ordinary cent into a treasure worth a fortune. The 1958 D penny, struck in Denver, was part of the final years of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series before the transition to the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, marking the end of an era for one of the most iconic coins in American history. What makes this specific penny so special is not just its age or limited production but the combination of minting mistakes that happened during its creation, mistakes that slipped through the strict quality controls of the U.S. Mint and survived the passage of time in remarkable condition, making it an extremely rare survivor of a fascinating historical accident. Collectors have long sought out 1958 pennies because they are part of the last year of the wheat design, but the 1958 D variant has an additional layer of intrigue because of a series of minting errors that are so significant they elevate its status far beyond a normal collectible coin. One of the most talked about features of the 1958 D wheat penny that's believed to contribute to its incredible value is the mysterious doubling seen on certain examples. The doubling on the obverse, or front side of the coin, particularly on the words Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date 1958, creates a bold, shadow-like effect that is distinct and visually striking. Such doubling errors occur due to a misalignment or repetition of the die impression during the minting process, and while double die pennies are among the most sought-after coins in U.S. numismatic history, the 1958 D example is unique because authentic double dies from this year and mint are exceedingly scarce. In fact, very few genuine double-die obverse 1958 pennies are known to exist, and even fewer with its D the mint mark, making this combination an almost mythical rarity. The existence of a true 1958 D double-die penny has been debated among experts for years, but the possibility of one surfacing with clear, strong doubling could easily command millions due to its historical importance, rarity, and visual distinctiveness. Beyond the doubling, another factor that adds to the mystery and immense value of the $36 million 1958 D penny is the discovery of die cracks, die chips, and planchet flaws that occurred during minting, creating fascinating texture variations on the coin's surface. These imperfections are not mere damage but genuine mint errors that happened before the coin ever left the Denver Mint, meaning they are officially recognized varieties in the world of error coin collecting. Some examples exhibit cracks along Lincoln's shoulder or the rim of the coin, while others show die chips within the lettering, particularly around the E in E pluribus unum on the reverse side, which can resemble extra design elements that were never meant to exist. In the right combination, these errors turn what would be a common coin into something unique and highly desirable. Adding to its intrigue, some 1958 wheat pennies have been reported with striking anomalies in color and finish due to improper alloy mixtures in the bronze composition, resulting in unusual hues ranging from golden tones to darker, almost reddish-brown surfaces that shimmer differently under light, making each one slightly distinct. These color variations, while minor to some, can become major factors in determining collector appeal and auction value, particularly when the coin is otherwise well preserved. The coin's preservation is another critical reason for its immense valuation. Any 1958 penny with errors that remains in mint state or near perfect condition is a rare find because most were circulated heavily in the late 1950s and early 1960s, losing their mint luster and sharpness. A coin that survived decades without significant wear, showing clear mint errors, and retaining strong eye appeal becomes a top-tier numismatic artifact, capable of breaking records at auction. Many believe the legendary $36 million 1958 penny was graded at the highest levels of perfection by experts, which only amplified its desirability among elite collectors and investors. Another compelling theory behind this coin's enormous valuation is tied to historical and transitional significance. The 1958 penny represents the very end of the wheat reverse design, which had adorned US cents for 50 years since 1909, and any minting mistake from the final batch of this era carries immense symbolic value. Collectors cherish transitional errors, coins that bear traces of both old and new designs or were struck using mismatched dies, and some experts suggest that certain 1958 pennies may have been struck using experimental dies or test materials as the mint prepared for the 1959 memorial cent transition, making them both historically significant and virtually one of a kind. Imagine a coin that bridges two chapters of US coinage history, with visible mint errors confirming its role in that transition, that alone could justify its multi-million-dollar value. Furthermore, the mystique of provenance plays a crucial part in pushing such coins into astronomical price ranges. The 1958 wheat penny worth $36 million reportedly came from a private collection with impeccable documentation, and its sale or discovery often sparks a wave of renewed interest in vintage pennies across the collector community. When coins like this appear, they inspire treasure hunters, metal detectorists, and casual hobbyists alike to inspect their pocket change and inherited coin jars for potential hidden fortune. The phenomenon isn't just about rarity, it's about the romance of discovery, the idea that an everyday object like a penny could secretly be worth millions. Beyond the mechanical and historical aspects, what makes this coin truly extraordinary is its condition, rarity, and story all aligning perfectly at a time when the numismatic market is hotter than ever, with investors viewing rare coins as tangible assets that combine art, history, and intrinsic metal value. The allure of the 1958 penny lies in its mystery. While only a handful of experts have seen it in person, stories of its sale and authentication have circulated in coin conventions, online forums, and collector publications, cementing its legendary status. Each element of the coin, from the sharpness of Lincoln's profile to the clarity of the wheat stalks on the reverse, plays into the narrative of how mint craftsmanship, human error, and historical timing can converge to produce something truly priceless. Some numismatists have speculated that the coin's astronomical value was also boosted by its auction history, where competitive bidding between passionate collectors drove the price far beyond any logical measure of worth, transforming it into a cultural symbol of numismatic obsession. The emotional value of owning a piece of US minting history that almost shouldn't exist is incalculable, and that's why coins like this cross over from collectibles into the realm of art and heritage. The 1958 penny embodies everything that makes coin collecting so captivating: rarity, beauty, mystery, and the thrill of possibility. It's a reminder that even something as small as a 1-cent piece can hold unimaginable stories and fortunes within its copper shell. So if you ever come across an old wheat penny from 1958 with a D mint mark, take a close look, check the lettering, the date, the rim, and even the color, because hidden within that tiny coin might be a piece of history that could change your life forever. The story of the $36 million 1958 D wheat penny isn't just about money, it's about the magic of imperfection, the legacy of craftsmanship, and the enduring human fascination with discovering value where others see none.